I'm Eddie Muller, welcoming you to Bar 355 in Oakland, California, for an unusual installment of Noir Alley. Many people were surprised several years ago when the 2019 South Korean film Parasite swept the Oscars, winning Best Foreign Language Film and Best Picture, as well as Best Screenplay and Best Director awards for its creator, Bong Joon-ho. Today, I'm thrilled to present one of the major inspirations behind Parasite, a remarkable movie called The Housemaid, made in South Korea in 1960. It's a film that had almost slipped into oblivion, only to be rediscovered and lauded as one of the greatest and most influential movies ever made in South Korea. Now, if you pay any attention to contemporary international cinema, you know that for the past 25 years or so, South Korea has produced some of the most original and exciting movies in the world. This renaissance arguably had its genesis in The Housemaid, a strange, spellbinding, and daring film that jolted audiences when it appeared in 1960, essentially kickstarting a more challenging and liberated era in Korean filmmaking. This was a country that had struggled to maintain its identity under Japanese imperial rule, and was then permanently broken apart in the aftermath of the Korean War. The nation, now separate from the communist North, was at the start of the 1960s struggling to rebuild itself and regain a sense of normalcy. Writer-director Kim Ki-young was by then one of the most prolific filmmakers in Korea, mainly making Korean versions of youthful romantic dramas that were all the rage in Japan. He had loved movies since he was a child, was totally obsessed by them, but had chosen a practical career in dentistry prior to World War II. But once protective American forces occupied Korea after the armistice in 1953, Ki-young got a job making instructional films for the U.S. Information Service. With borrowed American equipment and funding provided by his wife, who had by then established a thriving dental practice, Ki-young began his iconoclastic and fiercely independent career as a filmmaker. Nothing could have prepared audiences for The Housemaid. It's a story that begins deceptively as a mundane domestic drama, focusing on a middle-class family eager to elevate their social standing. The husband and father, played by popular star Jin Kyu Kim, is a musician who makes a living teaching musical composition to female factory workers. Now, that may seem odd to American audiences, but it was a government-sponsored program in South Korea intended to provide cultural enrichment to country girls who came to the big city of Seoul to earn money for their families. Well, being a handsome guy, our protagonist is soon faced with temptations familiar to Noir Alley viewers. But just when you think you know where this story is going, Ki-young takes it somewhere much, much darker. The introduction of a young housemaid, played by a remarkable actress named Young-shim Lee, sends the entire family, mom, dad, 2 kids, and the baby on the way, into steadily escalating turmoil. The house itself, meant to be a symbol of upward mobility, becomes an additional character, its walls seemingly alive with guilt and suspicion. Now, this simple domestic drama steams inexorably into psychodrama, highlighted by several plot twists and startling images you would never see in an American film of the time. Well, I'm not blowing smoke when I say The Housemaid is the most jaw-dropping film I've ever shown on Noir Alley. Much gratitude to the Korean Film Archive and the Film Foundation's World Cinema Project, which resurrected and restored this film, which once was almost lost, the fate, sadly, of most of Kim Ki-young's earlier films. Well, thanks to their effort, it now enjoys a reputation as one of the most daring and influential films ever made in Korea. It is my devilish pleasure to introduce you to The Housemaid.